Hello, and welcome to the Headshot Podcast. My name is Kyle. I go by Lost Packets on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. This is going to be episode 1 of the Headshot Podcast. The Headshot Podcast is going to be a micro podcast where we pick one topic and talk about it for 10 to 30 minutes here on the podcast. Alright, let's get right into it. So what I want to start with first is the guns in the game. So the guns in this game that I've got to mess around with, the classes are the assault rifle class, the tactical rifle class, and the SMGs. Let's start with the assault rifle class. So the assault rifle class, the gun that I got to mess with the most was the XM4, which is basically a M4. Or maybe even very similar in my eyes to like an ACR from Modern Warfare 2. It shoots very straight. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's so accurate that if someone is way out, you can really put a lot of damage on them. The other assault rifle I used just a little bit was the AK-47. And it's basically like every AK-47 in all the Call of Duties that we've played. It's a slower shooting AR that has more stopping power rounds, and it really rewards you for the headshots, but it's also very jumpy and has a lot of recoil. Next, let's talk about the tactical rifle. So the M16A2 burst rifle, I probably used that the most during the beta. And first of all, I don't like the sight picture on the gun. And even when you add a red dot, it's just so weird that the red dot's so much higher than the barrel in the stock. But anyway, the gun is great, I think. The recoil felt spot on to what we're used to from like Modern Warfare Remastered. And it felt like one shot to the head. I'm gonna have to rewatch some of my game footage and see, but it felt like it was one shot to the head, about 2 to 3 to the body. It was a great gun and super rewarding gun for aiming for the chest and the head. The next, let's talk about SMGs. The famous MP5, right? The sound of the MP5 was so amazing. And let me talk about the sound really quick. This game sound is great. The hit markers, especially when you're hitting someone with like the MP5, you can tell that you're hitting them. I mean, it's so easy to tell that you're hitting. So that's great. And then the AK-74U. I want to say right now that's probably the SMG I'm going to use. It does shoot a little slower, but it has, that AK-74 stopping power like in other games we've played. It really rewards for headshots. It's just an all-around great gun right now, and that could change after the game is released, or even in the PC beta that's supposed to come out here shortly. So next, I want to talk about maps. So let's start with Armada. It's a map that is set in the middle of the North Atlantic. There are 2 spawn points on 2 different ships, and a larger ship containing the objectives in the center. And you have to literally get off of your ship that you're currently on, and you can swim, you can zip line, you can take a boat, and you go to the center ship and you fight there, and it's awesome. And you don't even have to do that. Like if you're a sniper, you could sit back on your own boat and snipe across, and I did that a little bit as well. And it felt like Ground War. I don't think the playlist was called Ground War, but it felt like Ground War, but better, right? Because you're in a close fight, or you could spread out if you wanted to. It was great. I had a lot of fun, got a lot of kills in that. The next map that was like that was Crossroads, right? and that was probably my most favorite map to snipe on. It was 100% a Ground Wars map, right? Huge, long maps, big cliffs that you could snipe off of. There were tanks going around and stuff. It's a big snowy map. Um, it was great. I really like that map. And then let's talk about the two maps that I think are going to be competitive in Call of Duty Cold War. So, the one I would almost guarantee is going to be competitive is probably Moscow. It is, you can see the three lanes that the map has, right? And with us going to back to four person competitive matches in the CWL, um, that is big, right? And on one side of the map, there is long range gunfights. On in the middle to the opposite side of the map, it's more shorter range, peeking corners and stuff like that. You can really see, even though I didn't get to play any search and destroy, where they could put search and destroy bombs on that map, or where they could put hard points and stuff like that on that map. It just seemed like a great map. The other map that I think is going to be great for competitive is going to be Miami. It's set in South Beach, Miami, um, and it is also a map that looked like it had about three lanes. The fourth lane being the area where people could actually swim through the water a little bit and get on like a really hard flank. Um, and that's the only thing that's kind of iffy for me. The center of the map is kind of open. I mean, there's a lot of like cars and stuff to hide behind, but in all honesty, the center of the map is pretty open, and you really could get punished for being in the center of the map. There is like a big statue in the center of the map that you could probably head glitch and stuff, and maybe it could be like a little bit of a power point if you're set up correctly. But right now, I think that is definitely going to be a competitive map as well. Overall, I think this Call of Duty is going to be one of the best Call of Duties we've had in a while. Um, I think that Warzone is going to be amazing, and we'll talk about Warzone in a later podcast. I think CWL is going to be great. This is going to be our first boots on the ground Call of Duty we've had since World War II, and after playing the alpha, I think that this game is way more polished and has all the capabilities of being 10 times better than World War II Call of Duty. So, yeah, I think we were in a great point here in Call of Duty. I think this next game is going to be amazing. Uh, in closing, I do want some advice. So if you guys have some FPS games out there that you want us to talk about, definitely put those in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Lost Packet. You can look me up, Lost Packets _TV on Twitter. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. If there's somebody you'd like us to try and get on the podcast, we'll try. I never hurts. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our first headshot podcast. It is a micro podcast. We try to keep it under 30 minutes. This one looks like it's gonna be a little over 10. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you here next time on the Headshot Podcast. Thanks.